We got Jimmy Yitty in the motherfucking building,
Jimmy
man.
Yitty in the cut, represents Soda Money Records, East York. You feel me?
That's what's up. That's what's up. How are you, man?
Yeah, I'm doing great, man. God is the greatest. You feel me? God is the greatest. It was a travel to get here still, bare traveling, Ubering from city to city, all types of shit. But I'm doing good, man. I can't complain. You feel me?
That's what's up.
Yeah.
What's up. I guess we could touch on it. You and Raz Fresco. What the hell is going on,
Raz
bro?
Fresco, this suck ass MC. Man, a lot of people been messaging me about it too, so I guess I'll break it down here. I've always felt like there's been tension with me and this nigga for the last like 10 years, you feel me? I was dating this one chick. She put together a show, Super Wonder Gallery. Himself and Six Letter were supposed to perform. They were the headliners, in fact. You know what I'm saying? They came to the event. Midway through the show, their manager, I guess, was asking for $500 each before they even touched the stage. I was like, listen, my girl put this show together. She's sick right now. I'm putting money out of my pockets to rent this, that, and the third. She never told me nothing about no $500 each. But if y'all, fulfill your duty, then maybe we could figure it out afterwards. You feel me? They didn't want to do it. They took pictures like they did some shit, you know what I'm saying, and then they cut. And if they would have stayed, they would have got the money because we ended up making 3 bands at the door. It was all profit. At that point, I was giving out money to random people. Like the DJs was getting money. Fucking all the performers got paid. You know what I'm saying? The nigga who drove me, shout out Truth Willis. He drove me. I gave him gas money. You feel me? So they would have got paid. That kind of rubbed me the wrong way. You feel me? Few years after that, I was living with, a bunch of artists. Shout out Gene One. Shout out my nigga Sport Matthews. You know what I'm saying? Now, Gene One and Raz, they're like really good friends. This nigga came to the crib, dapped everybody up. He ain't acknowledge me for nothing. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking, how you coming into my humble abode, my place where I'm paying rent, where I sleep, I eat, I shit, and you ain't gonna say what up? So that rubbed me the wrong way too. You feel me? A couple weeks after that, seen him on the Dufferin bus heading north. I gave him the little nod because by this point I'm already like, yo, this nigga's on some weirdo shit, bro. You feel me? Once again, he don't acknowledge me. This was back in the show was 2015. The house situation was 2017, 2018. So now fast forward to like just last year or 2 years ago. I think it was last year, right? Me and the other Sodies, you know what I'm saying? That's what we call the Soda Money members, Sodies. So me and the Sodies is heading to the Scratch Bastard show. Shout out Scratch Bastard too. That nigga is incredible. You don't know who that is? Scratch Bastard, one of the craziest DJs I've ever met in my life, right? He has an event downtown. I think it's called the Bentway or something like that, right? Underneath the bridge. I had performed the year prior to this event I'm talking about now. Daniel's son, he invited me, that's my guy. And he was doing a show with Raz. I went there to go support. And on the way there, I'm telling the Sodies about what I just told y'all about, all those events where I feel like there's tension. So I said, yo, I'm gonna go up there and just kind of ask him like, yo, what the fuck's up with all this weirdo shit? You feel me? So yo, the man performs, he jumps off stage. I'm right behind my nigga Lotus. Shout out my nigga Lotus. You know what I'm saying? That nigga's been rocking with me since day one. You know what I'm saying? Where's my chain at, gang? Oh yeah. Yeah, so shout out Lotus. He's been holding me down since day one. Back in 2015, where I did 103 shows in 1 year, I dropped 3 projects. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, we just celebrated the 10-year anniversary yesterday for a glass of Chardonnay, all produced by The Count. No introduction needed. Y'all niggas know who The Count is. So I'm right behind Lotus. That's his guy. You know what I'm saying? He supports him. And he jumps off stage and I stick my hand out and I'm like, yo, that was a dope performance. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Re-te-te. The nigga once again don't acknowledge me and I'm like as close as we are, gang. Like, you know what I'm saying? Probably even closer. And he looking around to make fake conversations so that he doesn't have to talk to me. And I have my hand out the whole time. I still have my hand out waiting for him to finish his conversation. And then I noticed like, yo, this nigga just disrespecting. So I put my hand away. Then he turned around, he's like, yeah. That's what's up. And then he cuts. So I haven't been fucking with that nigga since, bro. I went there to make peace and then the nigga just disrespect even more, you feel me? Now, I didn't want to bring it to the streets or nothing like that. I wanted to keep it straight on wax. And I got 5%ers in my DMs. I got a nigga calling me. We on the phone for 25 minutes. He trying to explain to me how the black man is God. All this fucking weirdo nut ass shit, you feel me? Some of those 5%ers, they fuck with his music, but they don't fuck with this nigga because he does that type of weird shit to everybody. You know, once I dropped the first diss track, I had bare people messaging me like similar stories, you know? Yo, this nigga's a weirdo, bro. Like, he does that type of shit. So I dropped that first record to humble the little nigga, you know what I'm saying? He thinks he's the end all be all. Like, he the only nigga who can rap in the city, bro. Like, there's bare MCs in the city that will crush him. You know what I'm saying? So that's that, man. Raz, if you see this, we waiting for you to get in the booth, nigga. The fuck? What's wrong with him?
Wow. How healthy is rap competition in your opinion? I mean, you don't want to take it to the streets. You want to keep it on wax. How healthy is that for the culture?
I think it's extremely healthy. I mean, like what I was just saying off the camera, like, and that's the thing too. It's not like I'm a trash nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? I could understand if the record was whack and he could have just brushed it off. But I'm an elite MC, nigga. I'm the best in the fucking biddy. You feel me? And I've been that way since high school. You know what I'm saying? So I do think it's healthy because it pushes and inspires a different side of creativity in your brain that maybe you don't tap into without the battle aspect of it. You feel me? Like I said, that shit was just to humble the nigga. So if he hears that shit, he should be inspired to get in the booth and like drop the sickest shit he's ever done. You know, to be honest, when I dissed the nigga, I had other niggas, I'm not gonna say names, but I had other niggas on Instagram talking about, yo, I want a body, I'm in the mood to body a nigga with the mic emoji. You know what I'm saying? That shit inspired niggas. Like now they wanna get into rap battles. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's extremely healthy for the pen. As long as you're keeping it like just on wax, like hip hop shit. You know what I'm saying? I know I look like a young, handsome man, but I'm in my 30s, you know what I'm saying? I'm turning 32. So I come from like that, the hip hop, you know what I'm saying? I grew up, my biggest inspiration is Mobb Deep. You know what I'm saying? Prodigy to me is the greatest artist, the greatest MC of all fucking time. And that's never gonna change, you know what I'm saying? I came from that Mobb Deep, Wu-Tang, Nas, you know, Cool G Rap, Big L, you know, even as far as Big Daddy Kane in the 80s, like, you know what I'm saying? So, and, you know, you had the Juice Crew versus, you know, Boogie Down Productions. Like, I come from that shit, you feel me? Even as I got older, watching those Smack DVDs and like all that type of shit, you know what I'm saying? So I think it's healthy, as long as we keep it safe, you know what I'm saying? All this beef shit that y'all niggas be, you know, not even just you guys, but most of the podcasts in the city talk about a specific genre or like a group of artists from the city. I don't even want to call them artists, bro. They're just rappers. But these niggas is really killing shit. You know what I'm saying? When they do their diss records, I don't think that's healthy. But when it comes to like a competitive thing and strictly hip hop, like yeah, I think it's super healthy for sure.
We're just coming off of the probably biggest rap battle that we have seen in years.
Absolutely.
Kendrick and Drake.
Yeah.
What was your whole take on the whole beef?
It was very interesting. I'm gonna say this, like, obviously I represent Toronto City and I fought with the boy. You know what I'm saying? Kendrick, I was a big fan of Kendrick's, like early in his career, and then I don't know, I guess I kind of just fell off of his music. He don't release as much, you know what I'm saying? He don't release that much music, so it's easy to kind of lose your fan base like that. So I was going into this like on Drake's side, of course. You know, I know more of his catalog and whatnot. I think I think Kenny dog walked the nigga, bro, like a 4-0 sweep. I ain't gonna lie, you know. And I got a lot of friends who fuck with like OVO niggas, and I ain't gonna lie, like they be on some like the nigga can't do no wrong. Like let's just call a spade a spade. The man got slapped, fam. You know what I'm saying? I really like the tailor-made joint. I don't like that he used the AI Tupac, but I do understand how disrespectful that is. You feel me? Knowing that Tupac's like one of Kenny's guys and the nigga passed away and like, you know what I'm saying? I think that's kind of crazy. You know, for the Raz Fresco diss, I might get a AI voice of Magneto and have Magneto jump on a song and diss him type shit. You feel me? But yeah, I think it was extremely entertaining. Like niggas was dropping. 20 minutes later, next one dropped. Next day, next man dropped. It was crazy, bro. I was definitely invested for sure. It was a good battle, but I'm sorry, K Dot got it, man. He got you, bro. You know.
That's what's up. I mean, W for the culture. That's for sure.
Yeah, 100%. Like I said, it's healthy. When it's like that, it's healthy. Because once again, like, and I'm listening to both their songs. Like the minute it drops, like I'm listening, and you know, you get the fans excited. Like that's healthy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Being as talented as you are, I would say that you walk the line of underground MCs like the Daniel Sons, like the Raz Fresco,
Yeah.
and you can still play ball with the YGs
Yeah.
and the pressers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
Where do you find that balance? Trying to mitigate the two, because they're obviously two different sounds, two different undergrounds. You know what I'm saying? How do you find the balance to, I guess, play on both fields?
Yeah. Well, like I said, like I grew up off of like, you know, that real hip hop 90s type of shit. You know what I'm saying? But I also like I come from the streets too, you know what I'm saying? So it's easy for me to rap about my life experiences when you want to talk about, you know, the YGs and the Prezzas and the et cetera, et cetera. And then when it comes to, you know, people like Sazy or Danielson or whatever, that's just like influence from like that Mobb Deep, Wu-Tang, like type of shit like that, you know what I'm saying? This is why I'm telling y'all niggas, like, I'm the best in the city, bro. And I'm gonna explain why. Exactly like what he said. Like, I could do that kind of shit. You know, the Danielson, the Sazys, etc. I could do the YGs, I have a song with YG actually too. You know what I'm saying? And I want to explain the story how it came because I dropped a song called Quando, and niggas want to say it was like YG's flow or whatever. A nigga, he commented on the video and tagged YG, and he said, "Yo, this nigga stole your flow." But then YG liked the video. So I was like, all right, let me holler at him. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I hollered at my people and they hollered at him. And he was in Paris when he recorded that verse too. And, you know, the man said, yo, this shit hard. Like, he gave me the verse back like within a week, fam. You know what I'm saying? Cause it's hard. Real, recognized, real. You feel me? He heard the record and he was like, yo, this shit crazy. So how do I find a balance? I don't know, man. Like it's not hard for me and I don't really think about it. It just all comes natural to me. You know what I'm saying? I do R&B shit too. Like if you hear on my album, It Feels Like Hell, you can hear the song Kiki, which the music video is dropping when I drop the deluxe album in the next 2 months or so. I could do the auto-tune Travis Scott type shit. And because of the influences that I had when it comes to, you know, Mobb Deep, Nas, all my shit is lyrical. No matter if I'm using auto-tune or if it's a trap record or a drill record. You know, I even have one hyper pop record. I got a fucking, you know, a plethora of R&B records. The lyrics always come first. I'm always a lyricist. I'm a lyricist first, you feel me? So, yeah, man, it's just different vibes and shit, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it is life, you know? We have different emotions. We go through different moods. So it's really easy for me to kind of tap into that type of shit. You know what I'm saying?
We're gonna touch on the album in about 15 minutes, but before
Right.
we do, I want to talk about your potential move to Atlanta. I know you've been
Yes,
talking
sir.
about it behind the scenes.
Yeah.
What was the decision that led you to want to move to Atlanta?
Man, this is a great question because I really want to talk about this for aspiring artists. So I'll start it from here. Like during the pandemic times, I was listening to a lot of femcs, actually, a lot of female artists. And most of them just happen to be from Atlanta, you know? Popstar Benny was a producer that I discovered through listening to these underground Atlanta artists. You know, Eddie Gianni is another one. Brett Ramble's another one. I know Brett Ramble's from Chicago. Shout out Brent too, because I got 3 records with him in the tuck. But I found myself listening to a lot of underground Atlanta music, and I was really inspired by, you know, even people like, you know, back in 2018, like Playboy Cardi, who's more mainstream, but Slime Cito, another artist from Atlanta who really, really inspired. And let me say this too, that Quando flow or the YG flow y'all talking about, I was inspired by Slime Cito when it comes to that. You know what I'm saying? I don't never have to copy or be influenced by any artist from the city, because once again, I've been doing this for 16 plus years, my nigga, and I've been the best for all of those 16 years. So I don't need to steal flows from no nigga. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, definitely was inspired by a lot of Atlanta artists, right? During the pandemic, I then, you know, was doing the internet networking on Twitter, and I was jumping into Instagram group chats with people from all over the world. And I did link up with this one guy named Jan2. Shout out Jan2, bro, because, you know, that's really my guy. And, you know, we did Soda Money Records, and then we actually hosted our own show in Atlanta 2 years ago in February 3rd. I had Popstar Benny as the DJ, you know what I'm saying? He followed me on Instagram and Twitter. I had Tony Snow, who was the headliner, and then I had a whole bunch of different local Atlanta artists. So I went out there and the vibes was fucking crazy. We had 600 people out there, gang. You know what I'm saying? I could barely get 600 people from our own city to come to an event. You know what I'm saying? So just in general, America is more supportive in the music because there's more of an infrastructure out there. We don't have an infrastructure here in Canada to do shit. You know what I'm saying? We can't even send oil to Europe right now, let alone fucking do anything important when it comes to music, right? In Atlanta, you know, my own girl was telling me, when you get there, first thing you want to do is connect with the DJs at the strip clubs, because a lot of the DJs at the strip clubs work at the radio stations. So if you could build a connection with them, they spin your shit on radio all day, they'll spin your shit in the club all night. Now you're having some kind of motion. You know what I'm saying? We don't have radio stations out here doing that. We don't have DJs out here that are breaking new artists and that are indie friendly. They're looking to break new artists. They're not looking to just play whatever's hot or whoever's already popping. Those niggas don't need more exposure, fam. You know what I'm saying? We don't have no venues. All of our venues are shutting down. It's either like a little venue, or you got like the Rogers Center. Who's gonna do the Rogers Center? You know, 2 years ago, I wanted to book Lucky, you know, for 50 bands. I wanted to book him for a show. My biggest problem was finding the right venue size that wasn't too small, but also wasn't too big, because we obviously want to sell out. But with a very small venue, now I have to increase the ticket price to even try to break even, let alone profit. And Lucky ain't gonna do fucking the Rogers Center. What's Rogers Center, like 17K capacity, right? So we have very, very, very few venues. And all of these things that I mentioned in our city, none of them are indie friendly. You know, it's very cliquish out here. You know, I like I said, I've been doing this for a very long time. Niggas know my fucking name. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, I guess because of accolades or streams or whatever, like, niggas don't want to fuck with you until something really happens so they could say, oh yeah, I fuck with that nigga, you know? In America, it's like, because there's an actual infrastructure and something can actually pop off, people are more willing to help you out, because new artists means new money. You know what I'm saying? If I have a nigga in New York help me do this, that, and the third, now I'm signed or whatever the case, or I'm going state to state, doing shows, making money. He knows he can make money off of that. There's no money out here for hip hop in Canada. So that was one of the main reasons why I wanted to leave Canada in general. But Atlanta is just, it's a vibe, bro. Like Atlanta, I got a lot of people who fuck with me out in Atlanta, you know what I'm saying? They know I'm sick too, that's the thing. And, you know, whether it be New York or Atlanta, like being a nigga from Toronto, Ontario, Canada, like they all fuck with that because they all want to come here too, but they just don't know anybody. And once again, there's not a lot of venues out here. There's no DJs out here trying to break new artists, make something shake. So, you know, Soda Money Records, we here to bridge the gap. That's one of our slogans. Bridge the gap, put money in your pockets.
That's what's up.
Yeah,
That's
man.
what's up. Um, you've been in the game for 16 years, and coming off of our first interview, which was like at least 3 years ago, because you're one of our first guests on the Man Them Show.
Yeah.
So salute you.
Yeah.
What do you say is the biggest change from when you started 16 years ago to now?
Definitely like the business sense and focusing a lot more on like the business aspect of this. I want all of you artists, aspiring artists, to remember at the end of the day, this is a business. You know what I'm saying? It's cool if it's your hobby. You know, it's cool if you're just doing it for therapeutic reasons, artistically getting out whatever you want to get out. But at the end of the day, this is a business. So from that, you know, in the last 16 years, I think I stopped dropping as much because I was so focused on the business aspect. And once again, I'm going to tell you a lot more times in this interview, I'm the greatest artist from Toronto. Okay? So I feel like mentally, when I drop music and like I'm a perfectionist too. And that's not a good thing. You know what I'm saying? If you are one of those aspiring artists that are just like a perfectionist or whatever, like don't let that shit hold you back. Don't let hesitation hold you back, you know? I wish that I had dropped more music between 2015 to now. Cause like I said, 2015 I dropped 3 projects, and ironically, that was when I did the most shows of my whole career. I did 103 shows in 2015, you know, opened up for Freeway, you know, Snack the Ripper, Xavier Wolf about 2-3 times, you know. And back to my homie Lotus, like when I was telling him about, yo, you need to pop outside with me and shit, there's people who know my name and I don't even know them. As I'm talking to him and telling them this, we're walking up Bathurst and 2 women pass by and they're like, Yitty. And I just gave them the, yo, what's up, what's up? And he's like, do you know those girls? I'm like, I don't know these people, bro, but they know me. And he was like, all right, I'm gonna start popping out with you. And he came to every single show after that moment. So shout out to Lotus, he's been rocking with me since day one. But yeah, I think focusing on the business was definitely one of the things that has changed. And then, you know, obviously, you know, times changes and trends change and stuff like that. And originally I was strictly doing the boom bap rap type of shit, you know? I actually had, I remember when I came out of jail, when I was 21 and like Meek Mills and shit, like that was popping. And when I came out of jail, I hated that type of shit because I was so like hip hop, like, you know, I'm like, what the fuck is this? This ain't hip hop. But now like I'm into a whole bunch of different things. I think that happens just as you get older too, you feel me? The things that are important to you change, and you go about certain things differently.
What was it about the Meek Mill sound that you felt wasn't hip hop enough for you?
I don't even know, man. Maybe it was the beats, the way the nigga yelling so much, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. I don't know, man. Meek Mill's alright though, still. I ain't gonna lie. He could tone it down with the yelling, but he's alright. He's not bad.
One more question before we get into the album. Besides you,
Mm-hmm.
in the whole of Canada,
Mm-hmm.
who do you feel is the most lyrical artist you have ever heard?
So yo, I know a lot of artist friends, and I'm don't feel offended if I don't say your name, but I'll say it like this. When it comes to we were just talking about the Raz shit and battle rap, I think I think a few artists who I wouldn't want no lyrical smoke with would be J. Omer's and Heavy G. They're a duo called Run and Gun. Run X Gun. Go check them out. And my nigga Tona. You know what I'm saying? I've been fucking with Tona for a minute. We got a lot of records together. Um, yeah, those three, they're on some next shit too. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Sazy as well. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, bro. Shout out to my Scrambler niggas. You know what I'm saying? Scramblers Inc. SA Bando. You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy. I just heard a new song from Sazy and Tona.
Yeah, Wave Grease.
Sazy's
That shit
smoke
hard.
Tona.
That shit
I was
hard.
pissed. I'm like, Tona, you can't be smoking these niggas on a feature. And it was produced by The Count. When I
Yeah,
seen that, I'm like, I know this name. And I remember it was from you. And I'm like,
yeah,
no way, Tona. I mean, Sazy's dealing with Tona this way. I was
yeah,
pissed for Tona.
yeah.
I
Nah,
would have gave him the records. I would have
that's
got this
those are my guys, 100%. I talk to those guys frequently, very frequently. You know what I'm saying?
no doubt, no doubt.
Yeah.
All right, let's. Go ahead.
I'm sorry to cut you
Yeah.
off. I'm trying to think. I like, I ain't gonna lie. I don't listen to too much um Toronto artists to be real. Um, I just be like in my own like zone. I listen to my music like a lot. You know what I'm saying? I listen to a lot of my unreleased shit. So if I forgot anybody, I don't know. Drop some more music, nigga.
That's fair. But let's get into it, man. We are gonna talk like it's hell.
Yeah, it feels like hell.
Feels like hell. It feels like hell.
Yeah,
Um,
it most certainly did.
when did you drop this?
I dropped that November 29th, 2024.
Dope.
Yeah.
And it was led by the single Bleach.
Yeah, I would say yeah, definitely. Bleach was the first single that we dropped. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, when you drop these joints, man, this shit to me was like, damn, this nigga is going. Um, let's talk about the project in whole. Where did you come up with a name like that? It feels like hell. Why did you title your project that?
Um, so the album kind of revolves, I guess I want to loosely say around like mental health and how my upbringing was. Like I said, I'm from the hood. I'm from the streets. I'm from poverty. You know what I'm saying? Growing up, you know, separated from my mom. Pops wasn't there. Pockets was hurting. You know what I'm saying? Um, a lot of bad habits also contributed to, you know, poor mental health, I would say. A lot of self-doubt, a lot of fear, you know, a lot of negative self-talking for many years. So the title pretty much is like my life, whether physically, but more importantly, mentally, felt like hell, bro. Like, you know, you hear on the album me talking about, you know, sleeping in staircases and, you know, I had homies who passed away from, you know, on some gang shit, you know, at a very young age. You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace, John John, who it was his 11-year anniversary yesterday. You know what I'm saying? Um, lost a lot of people at a young age, you know, bouncing around from house to house type shit, a lot of moving. So the album is just kind of like, you know, the past few years, like it just felt like hell, you know? Yeah.
There was also one other name that you had mentioned on that album, Cream.
Yeah, rest in peace, Cream. That's my big dog. That, hey man, you ever see me outside with a red rag? You know what time it is, bro. Shout out Cream, cold blooded, no doubt. Blood of the year, every single year. Y'all niggas know that. When he was outside, you niggas was not. You niggas was scared. You niggas was scared to to say what you wanted to say. But when he passed, y'all niggas had something to say. Come on, man.
I used to work with him. So I used to work with him. He was
Oh, word?
yeah, he was a good dude, man.
Yeah.
His funeral.
Yeah.
Um,
Damn, I
when it
didn't even
comes
know he
to
knew Cream, bro. I didn't know you knew Cream. That's crazy. Yeah, man, he inspires a lot of this shit. Like Cream, Methodist, and my nigga Milk Crate King. Like they're the ones who put me on to that hip hop type shit. You know what I'm saying? Methodist and Cream. Y'all remember? You know, back in the that Smack DVD era, we had a Toronto one called like, I think it was called, I think the director was like D Brown or something like that. Y'all remember the track, Hit 'em Up, Hit 'em Up, Hit 'em Up, Hit 'em Up, Hit 'em Down. Hey, hell you looking at, spin around, look at the Scar Town. You know, Khalifa was on that song too. You know what I'm saying? Like my brother went to school with him or no, Genghis Khan, you know what I'm saying, Camouflage. Like, I grew up around those niggas, you know what I'm saying, Lou Breeze, like, I come from that shit, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, love Cream forever, you know what I'm saying, 1441, no side, you know, time is, no rap back.
um, let's get into the songs of this album. Like
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to the production side of things,
Yeah.
who were the producers on the project?
Me and my nigga Bloke, you know what I'm saying, Bloke, that's another guy who I have to shout out, 905 Bloke on Instagram, Twitter. Like I said, I've been doing this for 16 years. I've been going to different studios. This nigga is one of the best, if not the best, producers slash engineers in this whole fucking city. I pray this man gets rich one day, and I'm actually gonna help him out with that. You know what I'm saying? I produced 8 beats myself. So like I said, back in the pandemic times, I was inspired by a lot of underground Atlanta people. I had mentioned people like Popstar Benny, Eddie Gianni, Brett Rambo, Sad Ballmain is another one, Cassock is another one. You know, these guys really influenced this album production-wise. So I wanted to, you know, everybody was getting that Serb and shit. Bro, I was buying all the equipment I could, nigga. You feel me? And I started learning how to make beats and shit. So yeah, I produced 8 records on there, and then Bloke, like, you know, he turned my beats way up, you know, and then he has his own solo production on there. But yeah, I think he only solo produced 2 records, and then everything else is me and him.
Wow. So, how important do you feel was that process actually? Now that you're getting into quote unquote artist mode or musician mode, being a producer and being a rapper or MC on your own stuff, like how important was that for I guess the development of your own artistry?
I think, especially when you're curating like a body of work, extremely important because this album sounded exactly like how I wanted it to sound in my head. It came to fruition because I'm the one doing this shit. I could rearrange whatever I don't like. And you know, me and Bloke we've been working together for the past 5 years. I only go to Bloke when it comes to recording and engineering and stuff like that. And most of my songs, even the singles and shit, in the past 5 years have been produced by him. We just created such a bond and like such a great system that works for both of us, where I'm able to get out my records the way that I hear it in my head. You know, so it was extremely important when curating a body of work because you're really in there. You're knee deep in this shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, really important.
That's what's up. Shout out to Bloke, man.
Yeah, shout out Bloke, bro.
Features. You have Devi, you have Tax Free, you have James Scrambles, Sammy Shine, Soldier Brat, Unlisted Negroes, and obviously YG on the remix of Finesse Demons. Now, when it comes to your features, how do you know who goes on what record?
And that's the thing too. Like I'm very Kanye like when it comes to working with other artists and shit. For example, like the song with Tax Free on there, Angel Dust, I had sent that out to a few different artists, and I just really wasn't feeling how they came on it. And sometimes, you know, I'll ask people to rewrite their verse. Yeah, I know you could come harder still. I like this part, I like this part, but I think you could come up with better lines here or maybe deliver it differently here. And some people, they can't take that, you know what I'm saying? Me being the greatest artist from Toronto, right? It's very easy for me to take criticism. I take it with a grain of salt because I know that I'm the greatest artist from Toronto. Y'all might have to put like a counter on the bottom of the screen how many times I say that. So it's easy for me to take criticism, but a lot of artists can't. So another thing is that I'm a curator. You know what I'm saying? If you were to give me 100 songs, different genres, different BPMs, and you told me, yo, I need you to make a playlist of 25 of them, I would probably come up with like a better playlist than most. You know what I'm saying? I've always been an artist that creates bodies of works. It's probably why I never dropped so many singles in the last 5 years or so. I like to curate a body of work. Like this song is supposed to go with this song, and you know the track listing is very important for me as well too. You feel me? So, yeah, man.
Um,
Sorry.
yeah,
So to answer your
yeah,
question,
that's what I thought.
yeah, sorry. To answer your question, I kind of forgot what the question was. To answer your question,
How do you come up with like? How do you know what goes where? That's in terms of features, like what features go what song. That's the question.
yeah, I'm able to, you know, look at an artist and see what they're good at and see what they're not good at, and kind of match it up like that. I'm also, you know, what's crazy? I almost feel like I'm a better feature artist than I am like a solo artist, which once again just adds to the lore of why I'm the greatest artist from Toronto. But yeah, it's really just curating, bro. Like you have to have an ear. You also have to have a passion for music. Like I love this shit with my fucking whole top left. You feel me? My whole entire heart. I love this shit. When I listen to music, I'm not just skimming through it. Like I'm feeling it. You know. So as a visionary as well and as a master curator, um, I just kind of envision the best situation with me and said future artists. And now that I make beats too as well, I'm able to like really create that for real, for real. You know what I mean?
Uh, who do you feel is your was your favorite feature on this album?
Ooh, favorite feature. Damn.
Like who had the best verse? Who had the best appearance? I'm saying who was your favorite
Yeah.
feature on this joint?
It would have to be tax free. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, tax free. Hey, yo, tax free. If you ever see this shit, bro, I've already put in an order to put your face on a milk carton, missing tax free. Where the fuck is you, bro? This nigga did the verse, told me he was going to Cuba. Nigga was never seen again. You think he Tupac, bro? Yeah, tax free though, tax free. You know? Yeah, he's super talented, and I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I don't know if he wants me to say this, but the nigga disappeared, so I don't know. But funny enough, he's actually the voiceover for Arthur Franklin. You know, he's been in Beyblade, he's been in movies and shit. Like no cap. So that's why he's so good vocally. You know, when I showed Count the record before it actually came out, he was like, "Bro, this guy vocally sounds incredible." Like, yeah, the nigga is he's a child voice actor. You know what I'm saying? So, and also me and Tax Free have had a lot of writing sessions back in the day when I wanted to get into the more melodic shit, but as like a hip hop boom bap guy, I just didn't know how to do it. Um, a lot of times I would write lyrics and I would give them to him and be like, yo, like, could you help me create a melody? Like, how would you sing this? And this, that, and the third. So we've had a lot of writing sessions, and he's helped me write a lot of songs that unfortunately haven't been released as yet. On that record, I wrote a lot of his verse, and he executed it perfectly. So yeah, I would definitely say Tax Free is my favorite or the best feature on that album.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Also,
Also,
I
I
want to
want to
say
say YG too. YG is probably we would be tied because once again, when I was showing a lot of people the YG verse, people who are more immersed in that kind of music. Once again, I don't listen to too much Toronto music. Everybody was like, "Yo, this is YG's like best verse," and it's funny that another nigga said that I on Quando that I was trying to sound like this guy, but if you hear the song, kind of sound like he trying to sound like me on that. Once again, it was just the inspiration. I'm not trying to say that the nigga trying to copy me or whatever the case, but yeah, bro, that's what I do. I inspire niggas. I've been doing that.
that's what's up. Aside from Finesse Dreams and aside from Angel Dust, what was your favorite song to work on?
My favorite song to work on.
Like you did it, it was done, and you're like, fuck, this is it.
I think it would be the record that I have with Devi, which is called Going Through Hell. I think that it caps. I feel like it kind of caps the the entire like all the themes of the album fairly perfectly. The beat is incredible, and I had a lot of help with how the song ended. It's a very auto-tune heavy record, like a Travis Scott or a Yeet. But I feel like there's such a great balance of lyricism and melody and melodic. Like I feel like that's like a fucking hit. If I were to go to, you know, any record label and they heard it, they'd be like, yeah, we need to throw $1 million to this for marketing and et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, I think that would be the record for sure.
Um, so I guess Bored Through Hell would be the song that you would introduce to say a new crop of Atlanta fans, or would that be another record that you would show? Like, is there another record on here? You know what? Give me the top three songs that you would go into, say, a record label in Atlanta and say, "Yo, this is Jimmy Yitty, artist from Toronto, just dropped this project. It feels like hell. These are the top three songs that you need to listen to. I feel like you're gonna sign me after hearing these."
Yeah, so Going Through Hell would definitely be it. Um, it's kind of hard to answer these kind of questions just because I'm so versatile. And a lot of times I kind of want to, curate a 3-track listening session to what I know you might be really interested in. But another part of me also always wants to give them different flavors so that they know that I'm versatile, like for real. A lot of these niggas say they versatile. Why? Because you dropped a fucking song on Valentine's Day about a bitch, and then the rest of the year you just talking gun, shoot 'em up, bang, bang. That's not fucking versatile, bro. Right? So, but I did have the opportunity to do this. I don't know if we're gonna talk about this a little bit more, but I'll breeze through it. I actually had a meeting with Epic Records. You know what I'm saying? Epic Records, I don't know if you guys know, but they're under Sony. They have, Future signed to them. I think Travis Scott is also on Epic. And I had a FaceTime interview with them, or a listening session, I should say. I don't remember exactly which songs I showed. Going Through Hell was definitely one of them, because once again, I feel like that's a super marketable song. I would then probably show them Kiki, because it's another melodic record, but that's more on like a Party Next Door kind of vibe. And by the way, if you go and listen to the album, there's no auto-tune on that. Like, that's really me singing for real, you know? And the third song I would probably say is Devil Is a Lie. Devil Is a Lie, part 2. You know what I'm saying? Because that's more of like a hard-hitting trap kind of thing. But once again, very, very lyrical. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Um, this last thing, project is out. What is the next thing?
The next single, man, I got so many records. And I have a deluxe version of this album coming out with 8 more songs.
Talk about it.
Yeah, so the deluxe version, it feels like hell. Once again, very Atlanta inspired. All the features on this version of the album are from Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? Shout out my nigga FSA Bandit. Shout out Madi, Rich Slime Gang. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Don Lennox, my fucking guy, bro. This nigga made my top 5 Spotify Wrapped. This is really like a really great friend of mine, but also like one of my favorite artists. So shout out him. Shout out to Jan 2 as well. Shout out pop star Benny, who has a record on there called Black Mamba. Shout out Brent Rambo. If you guys never heard of Brent Rambo, he does majority of Lucky's music. You know what I'm saying? He's from Chicago, not from Atlanta, but you know, I got a lot of American presence on there. You know, after that Epic situation I had, I was trying to get signed to Epic. They really fucked with the music, but they were like, you're not at that level yet. We're gonna alley-oop you over to AWOL, right? I have a I've been wanting to say this publicly for a while now. Now I'm on a great platform to do it. But Soda Money Records as a label, not me as a solo artist, but I got us a distribution partnership with AWOL, who is a sister company of Sony. So to break it down for you, like we got the foot in the door. You know what I'm saying? This deluxe album is gonna be distributed through them. Really excited about that because once again, that's like industry level distribution, and I have it as a record label. So if you're an aspiring artist and you're looking to have a better distribution situation, come holla at the Sodies, Soda Money Records. We could distribute your music. I'm the nigga behind the screen doing it. You know, some of you guys who might be with TuneCore or DistroKid or you know, United Masters, if you need something changed, you gotta email them and they do it for you. I'm the nigga you email. You know what I'm saying? I have a lot of power. I could do the lyrics. If you want an artist as a main artist on your shit so it goes on both of your platforms and you share the monthly listeners, I'm able to do those kind of things. You feel me? The deluxe album is gonna be coming out around April, maybe May. I'm waiting to just touch down in Atlanta, make a few connects and see how I could make the biggest impact when releasing it. In my mind, to answer your question, I think the next single would be the Popstar Benny one, just because, you know, he's extremely well known in Atlanta, very well respected. You know, he has platinum plaques with Rod Wave, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that one, Black Mamba, I just finished mastering it, so it's ready to fly anytime y'all want it. That would probably be the next single, Black Mamba, produced by Popstar Benny.
More features, just the producer.
Yeah. Just me and him. You know, I'm trying to get Glock 40 on this. Still, I ain't gonna lie. And I got his managers connect. You know, if y'all know who Glock 40 Spaz is, like he's another dope underground artist from Atlanta. Trying to get him on there. Maybe get him on a remix, kind of like what I did with Finesse Demons. I released the original one, and then I got YG on the remix. So, yeah.
Honestly, you're doing fucking amazing work as an independent artist. Not a lot of independent labels out here, so I'm glad that you took the mantle of Soda Money Records and just putting a stamp on the Canadian side of just getting shit done and standing on business. I honestly salute you. You are an inspiration. Being in it 16 years and still going. 'Cause you're
Still
fucking
going,
high
man.
right
Yeah, I
now.
know a lot of people who started 16 years ago and they kind of just fall off. You know what I'm saying?
You're
With
the man.
Soda Money Records, here's another thing too. The move to Atlanta. I want to establish Soda Money Records as a U.S. entity out there, right? I'm gonna be working on my O1 visa. For those of you that don't know, an O1 visa is for businesses, athletes, artists, and recording artists that have extraordinary abilities. If you're fucking incredible at music or any of those other things and you're able to impact your industry in the United States, you can get an O1 visa, which allows you to stay there for 3 years at a time. Us as Canadians, we can only go 6 months at a time. But with the O1 visa, you can stay for 3 years at a time, and every year you're able to extend that for a year longer. So I really, really implore a lot of you aspiring artists to look to get into the States. Like I had mentioned earlier in this interview, there's not a lot of infrastructure out here. That's why no nigga has ever blew up from here. They all had to go to the States. Drake, Weeknd, Tory Lanez, Justin Bieber, they all had to go in the States. Why? There's no infrastructure here for it. There's no money here for it. So I would really implore you to look into getting or building a case to get your O1 visa. If you don't know what it is, just Google it. You can use ChatGPT to help you create a business plan, a strategy. I did that. I have a 6-month to 3-year business plan and strategy that's going to help me build my case to getting my O1 visa. Now, Soda Money Records, we put in at least 6 figures in the last 2 years investing and trying out things, right? I feel like if we had invested that 6 figures in America, we'd be in a different situation. But once again, this is business, and you have to kind of just, it's learning, you know what I mean? It's trial and error. So Soda Money Records, I want to establish out there, get my O1 visa, and then I'm able to use Soda Money Records as a sponsor. I could then sponsor myself to go out there. I then want to use Soda Money Records to sponsor all of you amazing aspiring artists. So with that being said, and the information with the AWOL distribution that I have, which is industry level distribution, I want to use these 2 things to inspire a lot of you artists to come and talk to us at Soda Money Records so we can get you out to America, doing your thing in America, putting together shows and all that sorts, and then also distributing your music on an industry level. The more artists we get, it actually helps us out a lot, because once we reach that 2nd tier, AWOL will start giving us money to fund y'all music. They'll do PR and they'll do marketing. You feel me? So once again, Soda Money Records, we here bridging the gap and putting money in your pockets. That's our slogan. You know what I'm saying?
Sign me up.
Yeah, man.
Sign me up.
We really need y'all support, because we need y'all to help us to help y'all, because I founded Soda Money Records for the sole reason. You know, I've been doing music for 16 years, and I've always been kind of like the leader of the group, whether it be Red Eye Click, Yitty Man Mob, Before the Wolves, and now Soda Money Records. It's not a group, it's a label, but I'd like to think that I'm kind of the guy that, you know what I mean, is kind of leading the team. And my intention always was for all of us to get rich. I want to get rich and fly to different country with my friends. And I don't want to be into the music industry and be friends with these industry ass niggas. I want my people to be around me and we just all in the industry together. There's a lot of amazing talent in this city, in this country. And unfortunately, a lot of them, if you don't do a certain type of music or certain type of style, there's not a lot of light that is shone upon your music. And I want to be the founder of the greatest Canadian record label, because I really want to push hip hop across the globe. You feel me?
Man, I am fucking saluting you. I am. Let everybody know how to contact you, especially about this information that you just given us, or even to just try to get on the label. Like, how can people reach out?
Yeah, so I have 2 other business partners as well. All of our Instagram names start with Soda Money dot, right? So my Instagram, Soda Money dot Yitty, Yitty. You know, my other business partner, Chris, he's Soda Money dot Chris. Sammy, another one as well, Soda Money dot Sammy. That's Sammy with an I. And then we have Soda Money dot Records. That's all on Instagram. Twitter, instead of the dot, it's just an underscore. So Soda Money underscore Yitty, Soda Money underscore Chris, Soda Money Records on Twitter. And y'all niggas need to jump on Twitter, bro. The reach on Twitter is incredible.
Very incredible. Once you get into those places, it's definitely incredible.
Yeah, man. And even just email us too. sodamoneyrecords@gmail.com.
Yitty, thank you for your time. We're about to get into that freestyle segment right now, that performance segment. I think you got something to say.
I got something to say, nigga. And I know some of y'all want to hear it too.
That's what's up, man. This is the Mandem Unplugged with your boy DJ Vegas. And we